fucking metal show. Welcome to Big Pete's fucking metal show.
Yo, what up, and welcome back to Big Pete's Metal Show. Now, we're continuing the series of counting down the top 10s, 15s, or 20s of all the years in metal, and today we're doing 1992. So, let's jump into the bitch. This is the top 20, so I'm going to keep it a little short. Coming in at number 20, top of the list, top or bottom, whatever you want to call it, is Cannibal Corpse with their epic Tomb of the Mutilated. Such a filthy, vile, heavy, disgusting album. Deserves its spot at number 20 on the list. Coming in at number 19, we got Manowar's Triumph of Steel. Yes, Manowar. How could you not throw the guys who wear tights? How could you not put them in there? Coming in at number 18, a band who would usually be higher on the list, but we removed ourselves from thrash during this period in time. So we got a renewal by Creator. It's a little bit of groove metal, a little bit of some experimental shit going on. You know, it's not as good. I still enjoy it, but it's not as good as the other stuff. Coming in at number 17, technically not an album, but I do enjoy it just as much, is Tool's debut EP, Opiate. Only 6 tracks, it's a little under a half hour, I believe, but great stuff that would become an even greater band in the future. Coming in at number 16 is the debut album by rap metalers Body Count. Fronted by Ice-T, of course. This is the self-titled debut album, Body Count. Good stuff, and it's funny, and it hits hard sometimes. You know, it's just a good album. Good stuff. Coming in at number 15, also a band who usually would be higher on the list, is Suicidal Tendencies with their album The Art of Rebellion. And this is clearly a different step for the band, coming off of their Lights, Camera, Revolution album. I still enjoy it, though, and it obviously still makes the list. However, if this was like an album similar to Lights, Camera, Revolution, it probably would have cracked the top 10. Coming in at number 14, we got a band that only put out one album, and this one album is From the Darkest Depths of the Imagination by Silent Scream. And these guys, if you like your thrash extra thrashy, these are the guys for you, because this is like borderline death metal and you know, so really heavy thrash, extra thrash, if you will. Let's move on to number 13, and what do we got? Oh, good album. We got Obituary, The End Complete. Another classic churning of Obituary style death metal to come out in that year. Number 12, we got Stone Cold Sober by Tankard. German thrashers, awesome album. I love these guys so much, and this is a phenomenal record. Coming in at number 11 is the reunion with Dio-era Black Sabbath, of course, as being Dehumanizer. The first album in over 10 years Dio sang with Black Sabbath, and would be the last one, unless you're counting the Heaven and Hell record. Anyway, this is a good album. Not as good as Mob Rules or Heaven and Hell, but it's still pretty good and on the list. How could I not put Dio on the list? Coming in at number 10, we got extra thrashy German thrashers Sodom with their album Tapping the Vein. And this is a collection of short, heavy, fast, hard-hitting, semi-death metal tracks. So if you're into that, definitely pick up yourself some fucking Sodom. Number 9, we got Quattro by Flotsam and Jetsam. Another good album. A little bit straying away from thrash, because we're getting into the 90s now. Thrash is going kind of under the radar a bit. But what's interesting about this album, apart from it, you know, being awesome, Flotsam and Jetsam, is that Chris Cornell co-wrote a song on here. Rip Chris Cornell. Coming in at number 8, we got the first album to crack the mainstream by the band White Zombie. That's right, we're talking about La Sexorcisto, Devil Music Volume 1. And you know, I'm sure a lot has been said about this album. It's just a classic, groovy fucking metal album. It's good. Good shit. Coming in at number 7, we got Testament's The Ritual. Once again, I feel like a broken record. This is a little bit straying away from thrash metal because it's a little bit of like the Black Album direction, taking, you know, retaining the sound of the band, but going in a little bit less heavier direction. This is essentially Testament's Black Album, and it's very good. I think I like it a little bit better than the Black Album, but that's just me throwing out some fighting words. What do we got coming in at number 6? Oh, of course. Once again, broken record. A little bit straying away from their thrash sound. We got Megadeth, Countdown to Extinction. Just a great album. I love every single track on here. And it would have been a little bit higher had not Alice in Chains released their second album, Dirt. Now, this isn't really metal. You can argue Alice in Chains are the most metal of the grunge movement, but this album is just a fantastic hard rock, grunge, semi-metal, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's metal to me because it's heavy, it's fucking awesome, and Tom Araya from Slayer does guest vocals on a track. Yeah, so if that's what you need it to be metal, then there you have it. Coming in at number 4, just an album that I liked a little bit better. Actually, you know, I think I could probably swap out number 4 and 5, but regardless, number 4, we got Exodus, Force of Habit. Oh, good album. Good album. Besides the burp, good album. Excellent. Number 3, we got Iron Maiden's Fear of the Dark. Now, this is an album that takes things in a bold new direction for the band. Unfortunately, it was Bruce Dickinson's last album before taking a long hiatus, which he eventually returned. But this is just some phenomenal stuff, and not your cookie cutter Iron Maiden. It's like one of its kind. Now, number 2, definitely one of a kind record, especially for the time. We got Rage Against the Machine's debut self-titled album, and this is in one of my top favorite albums of all time, just because it's just amazing. You can't really call this metal, you can't call it rap, you can't call it new metal, you can't exactly call it like rock or punk. It's its own thing. It's fucking Rage Against the Machine metal, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I mean, it's just a fantastic record, and I know a lot of people love them, so I'm going to shut up and cut to the one and only honorable mention. I usually have 3, but I only have 1 because fuck the system. And that is the live album SOD put out upon their reunion 7 years after their first album came out. And of course, this is live at the Budokan, and this is just a great live recording from SOD. And it's good to know that they can cover Nirvana on the spot. Yeah, you'll know what I'm talking about if you listen to the album. Coming in at number 1, if you haven't guessed already, if you know your 1992 metal, of course, we're going to be talking about Pantera's Vulgar Fucking Display of Power. Now, endless things have been said about this awesome record. You know, it being one of the greatest albums of all time, the best metal album of all time, yada yada yada, whatever. It's definitely not my favorite Pantera album. We'll get to that in a later video, but it's definitely an amazing fucking album, and number 1 a million times on anybody's 1992 list. Rip Dimebag, and that'll be all for this episode. Catch me next time on 1993. Oh yeah, it's time to go. My lip is still fucked up, and I got a big ass scab on it that's halfway falling off, so yeah, that's cool. Thank you, Anthrax. But anyway, that'll be it. So make sure you keep it brutal and stay metal. Peace.